Hi everybody, welcome to 2018. I hope this first week of January is um, going great for you and that you're feeling excited about what the new year brings. Today I wanted to talk to you about a subject that a lot of people really get stuck on as a new year rolls around because they're looking back at maybe the previous year and looking at the things that they want changed or want to do differently in the new year. And then also a lot of people are feeling maybe some discontent with their life and really just in this space of wondering, what in the world is my purpose? And today I want to talk to you a minute about that because so often people get bogged down seeking and searching and driving themselves crazy trying to figure out what their purpose is. And in actuality, you don't have to figure out your purpose. Your purpose actually will find you. I want to share with you some steps that you can take to allow that purpose to come and find you. The more you seek, the more you try to drive yourself to that purpose, the harder it is to let your purpose come in naturally. So if we look at how you can help start bringing your purpose or drawing your purpose to you, it's really quite simple. One of the best and most simple tools I have found is to start looking at what your talents and gifts are. When I'm talking about talents and gifts, it's not necessarily the things that you've learned, but more those things that are inborn within you, and there's something, a quality about you that is so natural that oftentimes you don't even realize that it's one of your talents and gifts. I know for me, as I started trying to list my talents and gifts, there were some things that were coming to mind, but I had to start maybe asking people that were around me what they felt my talents and gifts were. And even more than that, I had to start listening to what others were saying about me. And then I was awakened kind of to what my natural talents and gifts were. Because let's face it, a lot of times we don't know what our natural talents and gifts are because we use them every day. And we're so used to using them that we don't even consider them to be talents and gifts. Another thing is that sometimes in our daily lives, we haven't had to use our natural talents and gifts, maybe because the circumstances have not yet arisen for us to be able to even recognize that we have them. So the very first thing I want you to do is to get out a pen and paper and make a list of those talents and gifts that are like God-given. It can be large gifts, it can be small gifts. And again, you might have to ask some people. Once you have that list written down, it could be 5 to 10 things, it could be a whole bunch of things. Once you have it written down there, I want you to focus on the 1 or 2 talents and gifts that you feel are your strongest assets and the ones that come most easily to you, and even maybe the ones that that are just you're even passionate about and have this just sense of ease with them. The 1 or 2 that are at the top, I want you to consider those. Once you've narrowed it down to the 1 or 2, I want you to create a personal purpose mission statement. And how you do that is you consider, okay, using my top 1 or 2 talents and gifts, how am I going to serve humanity? Just think on that. How are you going to use your gifts to serve humanity? And that's going to lead you to what I like to call your purpose statement. Another thing to consider when you're making your purpose statement, it's what is behind your purpose statement. Is it love of people and humanity that's behind it? Or is it fame, fortune, making money, get notoriety, which is fame and fortune. But what is it that's behind your personal statement once you create it? Because if love is not at the base and the foundation of your personal purpose statement, it's going to hinder what can come into your space and not allow it to flow in as naturally. So when you create your personal statement, make sure that love is behind your service to others, and that will open the door for your purpose to flow in more naturally. Now, using myself as an example, I was not sure what my gifts were until I stepped out. And a lot of times you have to step out with the gifts that you think are your natural gifts. And what will happen is they will be expanded as you step out. It's kind of like, God's not going to show you the whole staircase. You have to take the first step. And once you take the first step, then lo and behold, the second step is shown to you. So that's kind of how it is with your purpose. You have to be willing to take that first step so that God can align and arrange situations and people and maybe your thoughts in order to get you to the divine destiny over time. So it's kind of a step-by-step process to let your divine destiny find you. For me, as a teacher and a coach, I knew just from my past being on athletic teams and all those kinds of things, that I did have a gift for leadership. So I knew that that was one of my top gifts. As far as my other gifts, I really wasn't clear on maybe what other gifts were very ease, where I found ease and just were really innately God-given in me until I became a teacher and a coach. Once I became a teacher and a coach, I started realizing that I had a gift of motivation and encouragement and inspiration. My students, other people that would hear me talk to the kids, they all would make comments like, "Oh my gosh, you are so motivational," which I had never known that until I started teaching and coaching. So a lot of times once you step out, some gifts will rise up in you that you didn't even realize that you had. And so using those gifts that are rising up, you can kind of alter your personal mission statement. Like for me, I didn't know, again, that I was motivational. But once I realized I was motivational, I wanted to make sure and put that in my motivation or in my personal statement. So my personal statement reads kind of like this, to give you an example. I want to lead and inspire others to the divinity within them through spiritual awakening. So that's what I call my purpose statement. Now, is it my purpose? I have no idea. But what I do know is because I stepped out into using my gifts and talents with the basis of love behind it, that God has been able to show me a second, a third, a fourth step and start directing me more in line with the destiny that He has for my life. For me, as an example, I had no idea I would ever in a million years write Spiritual Springboard. But God used those same gifts that He placed within me and helped me write Spiritual Springboard. And from there, He's opening doors for me to go ahead and encourage and motivate others to step into their divine destiny as well. I don't know what it's going to look like 10 years from now, and it really doesn't matter, because I have decided to take my hands off the wheel, stop stressing over what my purpose is, and as I've done that, my purpose has just started coming to me. So the same thing can happen with you. Once you decide what your gifts and talents are, apply them to how you can serve humanity, and do it with love. Grow in love in your soul. That's our collective purpose as humans here on this earth. So once you start, being love and putting your gifts out there in a loving way, you will be so blown away as how God arranges and starts directing you into your personal destiny. Finally, I want to mention that it's important that you do not compare your gifts and talents or your purpose or what you think your purpose is to other people, because you have been created as a unique individual with unique gifts and talents, and those gifts and talents are put in you to fulfill your divine destiny. So there's no way you can compare to other people, because they are not going to walk in your shoes, and they don't have the same gifts and talents, and they're not going to have the same destiny as you. So be clear and don't get caught up in, oh, well, their purpose is bigger than mine, because what we don't understand is on the spiritual plane, some of the purposes that look quite small on the earthly plane are super huge in God's eyes. So I just encourage you, as this new year rolls in, to take a few minutes and really consider, what are your innate God-given talents? How can you use those to serve humanity? And then step out, start doing it, and your purpose will find you. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.